Adam, I know you really want to talk about this conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
let us
am
know.
tired of the Kyle Hamilton conversation at 2.
Yeah.
And again, at 2. Adam, what's the difference between 4 spots? A lot. Financial, contract implications. Jalen Ramsey was what, the number 5 overall pick, I believe? Number 6? How'd he do on Super Bowl Sunday, huh? Hell, he almost cost them the whole game on the last play of the game. Jamar Chase was wide open, but of course, Joe Burrow couldn't find him. Do you guys know why Joe Burrow couldn't make that throw and go through his progressions and hit Jamar Chase, who was wide open downfield on the final play of the game? Anybody remember what happened on that final play? Any takers? Anybody?
I think I know.
Oh, Aaron Donald got to the quarterback. What position does Aaron Donald play? Oh, he plays on the defensive line. I forgot, didn't I? Yeah. How did safeties do all postseason? Oh, wait, we didn't talk about them. How did the corners do all postseason in the playoffs? Oh, they didn't make any impact. Eli Apple was talking mad game. Because what? He, quote-unquote, shut down Tyreek Hill? Oh, my goodness, people. Oh, my goodness. We are a funny bunch. Drafting Kyle Hamilton at number 2 is probably one of, if not the biggest mistakes the Lions could ever make, and they've made a ton of them. Learn from the Okudah pick. It's that simple. Watch successful teams. Why were the Bengals in the Super Bowl? Not just because of the quarterback, because of Trey Hendrickson. Why were the Rams in the Super Bowl? Not just because of the quarterback, because of that defensive line, Von Miller, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
You build and win football games in the trenches. You can't preach it to me about the offensive line and then you ignore the defensive line. You can't do that. You cannot do that at all. When we talk about the number 2 overall pick, it better be the one of the edge rushers. Or look, if you trade back and there's a team willing to give you 2 top 10 picks, be my guest.
Yeah.
But that scenario is not on the table right now. I am not going to talk about a possible trade that we may not know will even happen up until days maybe before or the day of the draft. Right now at number 2 overall, there are 2 players you do not touch. Kyle Hamilton, Malik Willis. It's that simple. Now, Brad Holmes does have the luxury of, hey, if he goes out and takes a quarterback, will I sit up here and massacre him? I mean, no. He's earned, I believe, the trust you should give somebody in his position. Having said that, the clear play here is you build the team in the trenches.
Yeah.
Stop wasting your time. Guys, do I have to remind you how fun this football team was to watch when you had Cliff Averill, Ezekiel Ansah, you were able to pressure the opposing team's quarterback. And again, let's say you don't have a good secondary. What is the number 1 way you can cover it all up? A good pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
You go for the edge rusher. Kyle Hamilton, he's got it all. He's got the length, sideline to sideline. He can cover it all. Great. He is one player whose job is dictated by the quarterback. He doesn't dictate a damn thing.
Yeah.
The quarterback takes him with his eyes. You saw Matthew Stafford do it. Mahomes do it. Brady do it. All postseason. Quarterbacks determine who is successful. The only counter to a very good quarterback is an edge rush. Don't believe me? Ask the Giants. They won 2 Super Bowls because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Hamilton at number 2, Jeff. Hell no.
No, and I'll give you more teams. Ask the Bengals, because you saw it in the Chiefs game. Who ended that game for him and helped them finish it out? Trey Hendrickson. Had a loss, tackled Patrick Mahomes like 15 feet back, and incredible tackle for loss. So it's Trey Hendrickson. And then you look at the Super Bowl, Aaron Donald. Look at the NFC Championship, Aaron Donald. Pass rushers, yes, you do need a quarterback that can finish the game for you, but pass rushers are ideal. And I'm going to name you off 3 of my favorite safeties in the NFL and where they were selected. Because you look at Minkah Fitzpatrick, one of my favorite safeties in the NFL, he was the highest out of these 3 I'm about to name. He was drafted 13th overall, and you know what he is today, one of the best safeties in the NFL. Budda Baker, another guy, 2nd round, 36th overall. You can find these guys. Tyrann Mathieu, 3rd round. Prospect, I get it. Easy asked me this the other day, and it was an interesting question. He said, out of the 3 prospects, Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson, or Kyle Hamilton, who would you bet on being all-pro? And I looked him in the face, and I was like, well, probably Kyle Hamilton. But you're looking at number 2. And number 2 to me, you're going to need a guy that not only, can dominate a game and take over a game. And as great as Kyle Hamilton is, in my opinion, at number 2, getting a guy like Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau, a game wrecker, a game changer, is only going to help your team no matter where it is and what part of the rebuild it's in. You saw it. The Bengals, the Rams, both teams in the Super Bowl have a pass rush. You've seen it when Tennessee Titans, as bad as they were playing offensively, they sacked Joe 9 times, and he didn't throw a touchdown pass. They had a chance to win because of their defensive line. So I don't want to hear anything about, trying to minimalize defensive lines because it's so important. You saw it, the Bucs last year against the Chiefs. Like, I can go on and on. So to me, the clear answer is you draft a pass rusher, number 2 overall. I don't want to hear anything about, unless Kyle Hamilton, you trade back to 4 or 5, whatever it is, then maybe I'll consider it at that point. He is a very good prospect. I will give you that. But in terms of value at the number 2 position, I'm more comfortable drafting a Kayvon or Aiden. That's the bottom line for me. If it is a quarterback or Kyle Hamilton, we're going to have to talk about it. But Kyle Hamilton at 2 is a reach to me, even though you might think of him as a higher prospect in terms of just value.
Let's say he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
What does that mean for your football team? Can any of you answer that? No, you can't. It means nothing. I have the answer. Nothing. You're not going to win 2 games this year because of Kyle Hamilton. He's not going to get to the quarterback and force him to make an errant throw. If you allow a quarterback to drop back in zone, let me rephrase this. If you allow any competent quarterback, any above average quarterback to drop back and play against your zone scheme, man to man, they will pick you apart. You don't believe me? Ask the freaking Cincinnati Bengals. They could not get to Matthew Stafford on the final drive. They played zone, and you know what he did? He fooled every single one of them with his eyes.
Yeah.
Don't believe me? Look at the last 3 seasons. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. How do you stop them? You get to them. You get to the quarterback. You get to the quarterback. And look at today's NFL. How do interceptions, how do they occur?
Because either someone's in their face being pressured or it's a tipped ball.
Either it's a quarterback pressure.
Yeah.
More times than not. Or it's a Hail Mary throw. If you think that's a game-changing play, like, I don't know, the Matthew Stafford interception in the Super Bowl where he chucked it 55 yards downfield, same as a punt. But regardless, if you think that's worth drafting a safety at number 2, go for it. You'll always be the Lions. You need an edge rusher. It's that simple for me.
Can I ask you something? You were out of the room when I was asking. It's a very interesting question, and I think listen with Easy, because you didn't hear me. Easy asked me this question the other day, and I would love your opinion because I didn't know how to answer it. He asked me, out of all the 3 players, you have Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson, and Kyle Hamilton. Which of those 3 would you bet on being All-Pro? And that's the interesting question.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has the highest motor. He has a higher motor than Kayvon Thibodeau.
So you think
I think Kayvon Thibodeau, again, I can only read reports.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty arrogant dude.
Yeah.
Rubs people the wrong way. I think when you look at Aiden Hutchinson, I get a guy similar to TJ Watt. I'm getting high motor. Yeah, he doesn't have the most skill set, the highest ceiling coming out of college. But I bet every single one of those teams that passed on him, 29 of them to be exact, would have loved to take in TJ Watt in that draft.
So you think he'd be probably the most likely to be All-Pro over Kyle and
absolutely.
Kayvon?
I mean, Kyle Hamilton, at his position, there's not much competition. So maybe, but who gives a crap if you're All-Pro?
Yeah.
I don't care. How many All-Pro players didn't get to the Super Bowl? How many All-Pro players didn't get to the AFC or NFC Championship game? It's irrelevant. The NFL is now a simple league. It's broken down into 5 ways. You need to have the GM and head coach. You need to have a quarterback. You need to protect the quarterback. You need to get to the opposing team's quarterback. And you need to have skill players on the offensive side of the ball.
Both Super Bowl teams have that.
That's the NFL today.
Yeah.
If this was 2003, I would tell you draft Kyle Hamilton. Go for it. Ed Reed, Sean Taylor. I don't give a crap. But he better be that if you're going to take him at number 2. Yeah. Sorry, those are the expectations. And when I take Thibodeau, Hutchinson, doesn't matter which edge rusher at number 2, I'll be able to evaluate him right away. How many quarterback pressures? How many quarterback hits? How many sacks?
Yeah.
You will be able to consistently attribute his value to the team's football success every single year. It's not a conversation for me. I'm not entertaining Kyle Hamilton at number 2, a safety. A safety. You might as well move Jeff Okudah to safety at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
You had A.J. Parker. You had Iffy. You had guys step up this year under Aaron Glenn. The hell you need to worry about your secondary.
And we can agree.
Get to the quarterback.
We can agree.
If anything, your secondary was the bright spot this year. Shockingly.
Mm-hmm.
Shockingly. You need a pass rush. Yes, you have a Quara. You have some nice pieces. You have a Trey Flowers, even though I think they cut him after June 1st. Draft an edge rusher. I really couldn't be more clear on it. And even if the Jags take Hutchinson, even if they take Thibodeau, you're not passing on one of the edge rushers at number 2. You aren't.
Yeah.
You just aren't. And do I believe there's going to be a table on the offer, an FU offer, where you would be stupid not to take it? No, I don't think so. You know why? Because this isn't the quarterback class of last year or the year before, where teams are willing to give up 2 future first-round picks to move up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. That's not this year. For me, Jeff, it's an edge rusher.
Yeah, and I think the whole point of this whole argument for people that are listening is the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, drafting a safety is a luxury. You get those guys to ice off your defense. Pass rushers, this is how you build your defense.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with Funky in the chat. Yeah, fine. Yes. They should be held to that standard.
But I'm
not taking an edge rusher at 2 for him to turn out like Trey Flowers. No, obviously not. But who has more impact on an NFL field in today's NFL? An edge rusher or a safety? Simple question.
Mm-hmm.
It's an edge rusher. Whether it's Hutchinson, Thibodeau, I don't care. They both need to be great, whoever you select. Whoever you select at number 2 needs to be immediately almost an all-pro at his position for you within the first 2 years. Hey, you made it all the way through. I'm so proud of you. Why don't you make me more proud? Like, subscribe, and watch another video.